everybody. Welcome to Around the Block. We are one day closer to Valentine's Day.
Yay! Are you and your girls doing anything special for Valentine's Day this year?
No.
No? Just same old, same old?
Everly has a boyfriend. Briar is flying out right now to see her boyfriend. So it's, it'll just be me. Just me. Hey, D'Anthony, can you turn on the audio or the headphones? I mean, it's kind of loud on the headphones. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just got done with my Valentine's gift. I want to see it. I can't show it on camera.
Why is she watching today?
Watching today?
I've not taken a chance.
I
did a different approach. Wait, hold up.
Well, yesterday you talked about it. Was she working yesterday?
So
but not today?
I'm just going to say she's a book nerd. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
This is what I did.
That's a good one where he's showing me on his phone.
So can we show this?
No.
Okay.
Just in case.
No.
Just in case. It looks fabulous.
Thank you. It took me an hour. It shouldn't have because I was playing with the hot glue gun. But I was just like hot gluing stuff and like peeling it off when it dries off.
Aww.
But other than that, it was easy. It was quick, and
she's gonna love it.
I hope.
Yeah, she will love it.
I really hope
she will.
But I'm done with Valentine's.
You got it done early and out of the way. Good for you.
Yeah, just gotta wait for Saturday night.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Are you going to Texas to see her?
Yes.
Oh,
that'll be nice.
So fun.
Taking her out for dinner. I've never done that for a girl, so I'm really nervous.
You've never taken a girl to dinner ever?
No, on Valentine's, nope.
Oh, on Valentine's. Okay.
Oh, she's special then. She is a special lady.
Yeah, so I gotta get dressed up. There's a dress code to this restaurant, and it said smart casual, and I don't know what that means because I was like, oh, I'm just gonna wear a suit. No, apparently they don't like suits. And
like business casual, but like trendy
nice dress
casual. You got trendy stuff. I've seen you dress up before. You can wear your suit with no tie. That looks good.
Yeah, that would be good.
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe no coat either. Just
dress shirt.
Dress shirt. And it's kind of no tie.
Yeah. So Saturday it's gonna be stressful because I'm like, oh, I don't know what to wear.
You're gonna do just so great.
It
sounds like he's about to pop the question.
Oh, maybe there's a ring on one of those things you showed us.
Oh, just kidding.
Well, I don't know. Would it be corny to propose on Valentine's?
No. And then you could always remember the date on when you asked her.
Yeah, a lot of people get engaged on Valentine's Day or Christmas, New Year's. It's kind of like a thing. So, a lot of people will hide the ring inside the cake or put it in the champagne flute and, it's all that fun stuff.
You'd be going,
I know. I'm joking. Oh, by the way, will you marry me?
There's a guy who has a scuba diving business, and one of his main hires that people hire him for is finding engagement rings when they propose, like at a lake or a pond, and it goes overboard.
Oh, no.
He'll go and find. He's found several.
Wow.
He's got a YouTube channel. It's really cool. All the stuff he finds trash, but. Some people consider it trash. He considers it treasure, but he's found tons of jewelry. It's really neat to see all that stuff. Yeah. So, what about you, Adria? You in Dallas doing anything?
Yeah. Well, our anniversary is close to Valentine's Day, like the following month. So we normally do anniversaries much bigger than Valentine's Day. But I'll make a nice dinner, or we might actually even go out with the kids and eat dinner because I always make dinner almost every single night. So the kids are like, we're going to go someplace to eat something? I can't believe this. It's funny because normally when I ask the kids, hey, let's go grab something to eat. Where do you want to go? And I'm thinking, we can sit down, enjoy something. And they're like, what about Cane's or Chick-fil-A? And I'm like, no, a sit down place, a nice one where they bring you, but they that's their luxury eating is apparently getting the chance to.
Do you have a reservation though?
No.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be anything super fancy, but more than likely what will happen is that I'll ask Dallas, what's your favorite food for Valentine's Day? What do you want? What dinner do you want? And I'll make it for him, and we'll have a sit down and eat dinner together. And
you ask him?
Yeah.
Oh,
I do. Well,
must
he
nice.
brings me like flowers every once in a while. He always, one thing that he's really good at is sappy, sweet cards.
Oh,
so I know I'll get a really nice card and all that. My mom is a Valentine baby. So
really,
yeah, she was born on Valentine's Day. So growing up, Valentine's Day, we were always, spoil my mom for her birthday and all that kind of stuff. So I need to send her a card.
What does she think about having her birthday on Valentine's? Like, I imagine some people have plans, but then it's like, oh, well, it's my birthday.
Yeah. I don't think it really.
She doesn't really care.
No.
I bet your dad loves it because he never forgets her birthday.
No, he never forgets it.
Yeah.
I love my dad. My dad is fabulous. Could he be a little bit more romantic? Probably so. But he always does a good job of, reminding my mom happy birthday on Valentine's Day. So, my dad is the best.
So that's our plan. Extra good behavior, though.
Yes.
Valentine's and birthday.
I know.
Oh, man.
My poor sister, too. She has a birthday like 3 days after Christmas. So Christmas is like, I feel bad for her because it's like, oh, Christmas, we're celebrating. And then we're like, oh, yeah, it's your birthday. Here you go. When they're close to Christmas. And
my mom's is that way, too.
Yeah. Her
December
husband
19th.
is actually the day after Christmas. So they both have like, they feel for each other because they both have the same situation where their birthday is right by Christmas. So
my mom's is December 19th. So every Christmas we celebrate her birthday. We'll set aside like an hour and say, this is your birthday celebration. Oh, it's fun and different than Christmas. See? Because she feels like it's mixed into Christmas, and it is. And then my dad's is mixed into Thanksgiving when all the family gets together. Mm-hmm. So it's like, we're all stuffed after Thanksgiving. We're like, oh, here's your presents.
Yeah. My poor son, he became a teenager on Thanksgiving Day this year. So it was like, hey, happy birthday. Get in the car. We're going to grandma's house. And he did not want a birthday party this year.
That's the age. That's when it starts happening.
I had to I mourned his 13th birthday a little bit because he didn't want a party. He's like, I don't want that. I don't want that.
Wait, he's 13, but he doesn't want a birthday?
He did not want a birthday party with all of his friends. And I honestly had like a moment where I almost cried about it. But it's not my birthday, so it's his. And I gave him his wishes.
I stopped wanting to have birthday parties at like 16, 17.
Yeah.
That's real.
I know. He's like, I don't want it to be all about me. I don't want it to be all about me.
Yeah, both my kids were like that. We got to 13 for both of them. And because I was like, no, you're a teenager. This is a big deal. Yeah. We're doing something. And if you don't invite your friends, I am. So we had big celebrations at our house. I mean, like sleepovers and stuff. But yeah. And then after that, they were like, I don't want it anymore. Nope. I just want like 1 or 2 girls to come over and we can like go get our nails done or something.
Yeah.
So
I tried to surprise Griffin. I tried, but he was on to me. I was like, so, what would you think about like maybe going to get some pizza at Chuck? Because he was talking about wanting to go to Chuck E. Cheese for his birthday. Just be silly.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute.
He's like, and I said, and then he told me I don't want to do that because I don't want to party. So I said, well, what would you think? If it was just the family who went to Chuck E. Cheese. And he's like, I know what you're doing. You're trying to plan a surprise party. I'm not interested. I don't want to do that. So it's sad, but
D'Anthony, her son would be a great person to ask on how you should dress. Even though he's young, he is styling. The boy loves his shoes. He's got how many pairs would you say?
Oh my gosh, way too many. Way too many. When he first went to middle school, I said, I'll buy you a couple of pairs of brand new shoes, one for the gym because you had to take PE, and one nice pair of shoes. And that kid tried to con me into about 6 pairs of shoes. I bought him 1 pair of shoes that he wore maybe twice. Maybe twice. He could not survive middle school if he did not have this pair of shoes. He was not going to survive if they were not on his feet when he walked out the door first day. Guess 2 times later, and then he was like, yeah, I've outgrown them.
Wait.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Offered a couple shoes.
2 pairs of shoes,
Two-
but he got
That's
3.
more than what I would get. I would be like, no, you still got those shoes are still good. There's a hole in them, Mom. Like,
Yeah.
it's just
Hey, that's
tiny.
how I was when I was a kid. I literally
Same.
had to wear the same pair of shoes until you could see the sole, like that, my feet flopping out the bottom of the shoes. So, but he does love his clothes. He loves to go to Hollister and Abercrombie, and he loves this and that, and the quarter zips, and then this and that.
Wait, how old is he?
13.
That's what I'm saying now.
I'm
He's
just now
styling.
discovering these other stores at 13. Oh,
He
Yeah,
loves
yeah,
them.
yeah.
when
He
he's
knows
an
what's
adult,
up.
he's gonna be fat. Oh, I'm
He's
He's going to be what?
fashionable, you know?
Oh.
He's gonna have like suits.
I thought you were about to teach us a new. I thought you said fat, and I was like, okay, is this a cool new word that we need to learn?
That outfit looks fat.
So fat. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk about the OKC Ballet is putting on a ballet about love and tragedy, but 2 of the dancers have a real life romantic love story happening, and we'll talk about that next. Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou?
That is the hit
thou.
version.
Yeah, so Romeo and Juliet is the ballet that is now happening with the OKC Ballet. And there are 2 dancers in this ballet that have a true love story happening right now. Let's take a look.
The classic story of love and tragedy told through pirouettes and grand jetés, but this one has a twist. That's Alejandro Gonzalez and Michaela Carr, 2 dancers in the Oklahoma City Ballet who will both perform in the upcoming Romeo and Juliet Ballet.
She's the one?
Oh, that was really sweet.
Just like Romeo and Juliet, Alejandro and Michaela share a romantic story that began during a performance of Alice in Wonderland several years ago.
It was the frog in Alice in Wonderland, and I don't know, I guess she liked it. She's very pretty.
He's like the frog that I kissed and like turned into my like prince or whatever.
This year, Alejandro plays Romeo in the ballet.
When you're able to experience love, and when you have somebody that you trust and that you're really to give like everything you are, like it's almost like saying the truth.
Michaela plays the role of Fate in the ballet, something that's also fitting.
It's the personification of fate, where destiny and like everything that happened for a reason is embodied into a character.
Together, telling a love story through dance, but off stage, it's a romance with a happy ending. Hunter Elise, Oklahoma's News 4.
Isn't that sweet?
That is so cute.
It's adorable. And they're just giddy
Aw,
about each
they
other.
Are.
Very
He's
cute.
very romantic.
Yes, he is. Alejandro. Romeo and Juliet starts February 20th and runs through the 22nd. You can get tickets at okcballet.org. They start at $35.
That would be a very romantic thing to do. Buy those tickets for your Valentine and go the next weekend.
Except I don't really like the way that Romeo and Juliet ends.
No, yeah, it's not. It's definitely not a romantic ending,
Right.
but it's romantic a little bit
But the
before
message.
then. Yeah, right. The
I love you so much. I can't live without you.
So let's both die. Sorry if I spoiled that for anybody that has not watched it.
Yeah.
If people don't
1,000
know the story of Romeo and Juliet, they've been hiding under a rock.
Very
So,
spoiler.
spoiler alert.
Adria.goins at
Yeah,
K4.com.
yeah.
Useful.
I'm gonna get hate mail.
So maybe you've done this before, Adria, with Dallas. I mean, over the years, you know, when you go across a bridge and you see there's grates and then they have padlocks attached.
Oh, we saw the bridge in Paris when I was there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's the Skydance Bridge is the same way, and there's a little place in Edmond that also does it. So people can go and lock their love on these grates with their padlocks. So there is a place that's doing it in Oklahoma, and they encourage you to come out and lock in your love at Lake Arcadia. And what they're saying is
Lake Eufaula.
Oh, I looked right at it
No,
and
yeah,
I said
you're good.
Arcadia. I don't know why. Lake Eufaula State Park. It's 2 hours away from Oklahoma City if you've been out to Lake Eufaula before.
Yes.
But you can purchase your locks at the visitor center at the state park office. Then attach them to what they call the Love Lock Fountain. Then park
Aw.
officials suggest you toss the key into the pond as a symbol of lasting memories.
And then we're gonna call up that scuba diver to go into
Exactly.
the lake.
Yeah.
Retrieve all of that.
I'm sure the fish will live all that rust
Right.
if they get to
All of that
swim through.
metal in their body.
Yeah.
That's still cool though. That's a sweet thing. That would be a sweet gesture. Take your love bird out there and do that, and that's cute.
It'd be a fun stay too out at Lake Eufaula. You can
Yeah.
also, if you don't stay at the state park, there are multiple Airbnbs, things like that. So
That'd be a little fun.
I had a friend back in college because we have a bridge that's just like that, and there's like a bunch of locks with couples. And I guess my friend, he just got into this relationship, and it was like really fast. And then like he proposed, and then he got engaged within like 3 months. And then
wow.
I guess they had like one fight overnight, and then I get a call at like 2 in the morning, and he was like, "D'Anthony," I'm like, "What?" It's like, "Can you help me real quick? Can you drive to UT Arlington?" I'm like, "Dude, I really don't want to. It's like 2 in the morning. I got class in like a couple hours." "Nah, dude, come on." So I'll go over there, and he's like, "Meet me at this parking lot." So I'll go over there to the parking lot, and he's like, "Okay, you ready?" I'm like, "Ready for what?" And then he like drops this bag. I'm like, "What is this?" "Oh, I got a bolt cutter. We're gonna cut that lock off." And I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna. No, I don't know why." He was like, "Man, she broke my heart, so I'm breaking the lock."
Oh,
And I was
that's
like,
sad story.
I was like, "Man, we probably let's talk it out." So the like, so the lead up, it was like 3 to like 7. I'm calming him down because like he still has like the bolt cutters in his hand when we sit down in the car. He's like, "I'm ready to cut him off."
Aw.
And then yeah, so
Did he end up cutting it?
no, he didn't. But he made me fail an exam, and I had to retake it over the weekend. So yeah, he's
He
Yeah.
sounds
Be a
like
good
he
friend.
sounds like a great friend there, Dan.
So that begs the question then, Adria, if you had a previous love and you had a lock, and same D'Anthony, would you guys break them off, or would you leave them because that was a period in your life where it was special at that time?
That is a good question because I'm mixed. I'm neutral on that. I don't know.
I would keep it
Depends.
there. I would keep it there.
I think
That's
I would keep
a
it there,
lesson
too.
learned.
Yeah, maybe that's a good way of looking
Or
at it.
it's just it was a season of your
season.
life that was positive at that time, you know.
Like I don't regret the good memories,
Mhm.
but I think I'll just look at it like a positive way instead of
Yeah.
like
And unless
all
it ended in a complete and utter disaster, then I might contemplate it. But you know, who knows?
Yeah.
Do you guys
let's
ever have like people that from your past, from seasons of your life that you loved or what have you? Or do you have some that certain songs remind you of
Yeah.
them?
Mhm.
I'm the same way. I heard a song the other day and I was like, "Oh, that reminds me of, such and such and such and such." And I was like, just reminded of them.
Wait,
Certain songs make you think of your friends
Or your childhood.
childhood.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I have the complete opposite reaction. I'm
Oh,
like,
really?
skip. No.
Oh,
not doing
no.
that.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying it's like an ex-boyfriend or anything. I'm just saying,
Oh, just in
people
general.
that you loved, you miss, or what have you. So,
I was
yeah.
like, I used to listen to this artist till someone happened, and then I don't listen to him anymore.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
Yes. Skip. On
Yeah.
to the next.
Bye-bye.
Okay, when we come back, this is so fascinating to me. Oklahoma City could be getting kind of like a monorail, a commuter line. We're going to talk about that and where it could end up right after this. Hey, everybody. Okay, we could soon look like, I don't know, Seattle, Las Vegas, maybe getting a monorail type thing. It's, I don't know that it's suspended in the air, though, but it's a
Yeah.
commuter line coming to the metro potentially. Right now, Brad Henry, former governor of Oklahoma, is on this board discussing. They don't know yet how much it'll cost. How many millions, hundreds of millions will this cost? But they're wanting to make it easier to travel, get out of all the stoplights and the traffic. And the map that I saw yesterday, even last night at 10, I was watching the newscast. We first had this last night at 10. And the map showed all the way from Edmond down south of
Yeah.
Oklahoma City down to Norman.
Here it is. You can see it. There it is, right there. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
from the University of Central Oklahoma all the way down, well past Del City into Norman, into Moore to the University of Oklahoma.
wow, public transportation, but it'd be a commuter line.
Yeah. And it also goes into the airport and to
Mhm.
Tinker.
Imagine that if you could just go straight to the airport, you wouldn't have to pay for parking.
I know, right?
But then you got to wonder how much would this ride cost? Too.
Right.
So it's ongoing right now. This is a big. They're really truly considering this, putting together the puzzle pieces. But so yesterday, the Regional Transportation Authority of Central Oklahoma became One Transit with a focus on the future of transportation in the metro area. So the new brand cost $200,000 just to create the new branding, One Transit. So if that alone cost $200,000, imagine how much this will cost.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's a great idea.
I mean, golly, the I-35 traffic is outrageous sometimes.
Terrible. Yes.
So that would be pretty good. And the Broadway extension gets 235 to the Broadway extension gets. When I would leave work. When I was working dayside at like 5:30, you couldn't go anywhere either way on the Broadway extension.
Yeah, you're paused for a little while there. Yeah, so crazy. We'll have to see where this leads.
I hope this happens, to be honest with you. I know it's going to be extremely expensive. It'll probably have to go before a vote of the people to decide, but it would be nice in a lot of ways for people trying to like say you want to go down to the OU game. Or like you were saying, you want to catch a
Thunder game.
The Thunder game, and you want to catch a flight out, and you can just hop on the train and go that way.
I also wonder how this would affect like Uber drivers. It's like I'm going to take the commuter train. I mean, of course, Uber can take you anywhere you want to go. I keep calling it a monorail, but that the commuter line wouldn't take you. But if you could go straight downtown to like a Thunder game, things of that nature, and then back home again.
A lot of people will factor in. How quick can I get there in either from an Uber or the train, or how much is it going to cost me for an Uber compared to a train ticket? So those are the things that
I want it to happen so I can get that hat. I'm sorry.
You like that? You like the logo?
The logo was cool, and he had that black hat. I'm like, man.
Okay, hit play again. Let's see it. I didn't know what you were talking about.
It was like a yellow, red, blue.
Yeah, wait, it's that guy in the middle.
Okay, that's Brad Henry.
Okay, him, and I don't think he was wearing a hat.
But he, there he is.
Oh, look at that hat.
Yellow, red, blue. He likes it.
That's fat. That hat is fat.
We are making that a new
start saying
cool saying.
We could say that hat is fat, not you look fat in that hat.
Right,
totally different things.
Totally different.
That fat's hat.
Is that a PH fat or an F?
No, because that's already taken.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
True, very true.
But it's funny with PH.
Yeah, but do you remember, D'Anthony, do you even know what PHAT stands for? Because you're too young. When we were kids, with teenagers, it was pretty hot and tempting.
Yeah.
PHAT.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So, what time is it? We got a few more minutes here. The high school jersey has been retired of Thunder star Jalen Williams, aka J-Dub. So, the team took time out from play to head to Gilbert, Arizona, where J-Dub's high school did something they've never done before, and they retired his jersey.
This is so cool. What I loved most about this is that 60 members of the Oklahoma City Thunder, the players, staff, all went and filled in essentially an entire section at his high school to be there to witness the retiring of his jersey.
This is so cool.
Number. Yeah, that's so sweet.
Listen to this. This will make you feel old. He graduated in 2019.
Oh, wow. Does make you feel old.
That's so crazy to me. 2019.
He is so happy too. Look at that. Getting the crowd all. Could you imagine going to school there and being like, oh my goodness, an NBA champion, Jalen Williams, is coming to the school today to, be there with, and then his entire team walks in and sits there right next to you. And, hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Yeah.
That'd be so fun as a high schooler. I bet they were just loving every minute of that.
Not if you're a Spurs fan or a Suns fan.
Yeah, well, blah, 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 blah.
I don't know. I'd be like, man, why I got to go to this guy's ceremony? And I got to support a guy that's against my team. But, oh, man.
Well, the good news is after this happened, they had a road trip and they played in Arizona at Phoenix and took on the Suns last night, and they won 136 to 109. So big.
He led 28 points.
He played. He did really, really well. A couple of their players were back from injury, so it's nice to see them back. And they still have a lot more that are on the bench with injury, but Yeah, so that's cool. I
That
love
is
seeing
cool.
all
That is so neat. High school, graduated in 2019. That would make him what, 6, 7? Oh, I just said 6, 7. Anyway, since that came about, now I'm always doing that.
Now you can't ever say 6 or 7 again.
Plus, like, say he was 18, so he'd be around
24,
yeah,
23,
25.
24.
yeah. So
24,
wow.
26.
But it just sounds like to graduate high school in 2019. It sounds like you're like a baby, like you're still 18 almost, because it seems like 2019 was yesterday.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's super cool. I love that he was number 11. What is he now? What's his number now?
8.
8.
Yeah, they all have those like 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, all those.
Did
9,
you say 6, 7?
6. It's funny. My daughter had her Valentine's party at school yesterday, and you're supposed to get things for everybody. And one little girl's mother, kudos to her, they used a 3D printer to print off a little 6-7 and make it a little keychain thing you can put on your backpacks, because that's apparently a cool thing now, is to have these little keychains. And so everybody in her class got this 6-7 keychain, and they were all like, "Oh my god, this is so cool!" They loved it.
Yeah,
So
3D printed.
a 3D and did that for 25 kids. So it was really cool. It's cute. And all I did was buy a ring pop for everybody. So.
I'm sure they loved it very much. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about Galen Culver's latest story. Is this a great state or what? He's going to take us to a brand new diner. We'll check it out next. Welcome back to Around the Block. Galen Culver did another Is This a Great State or What story that we're going to show you here about a brand new diner in the Oklahoma City area. And I want to say it's in Oklahoma City. I'm looking at it right now and I'm like, is it? Yes, it is. New Cafe in Oklahoma City. And he takes us inside to show us how one thing doesn't particularly go with the other, but in this case, they work out perfectly.
Breakfast and lunch. Yeah.
When he's manning a hot grill on one of the busiest days of his new cafe so far, it's not hard to figure out what one of Tim Heitzman's great loves might be.
I'm really big into street food, Latin food, Asian food.
He grew up in a kitchen where extra hands were a requirement.
If you're not helping in the kitchen, get out.
He and his partner Erica combined their tastes for comfort food and street food to open the Pit Stop in Classen Towers in early 2026.
Hot food, cold food, grab-and-go food.
They serve breakfast and lunch in an old burger joint. Tim brought in his own line of hot sauces, including a new one he's calling Bad Idea.
People always ask, oh, is the hot sauce for the dogs?
Which brings us to Tim's other great love, dogs. Not just any dogs, but especially the 3 pit bulls that wait hungrily for him to get home every day.
I've been a chef for so long that every dog I've ever had eats better than most people.
Obviously, his dogs can't come to work with him, but that didn't stop Heitzman from putting their photos and doggy artwork all over his restaurant.
Keeping in with the dog theme, but also in just making food that means a lot to us.
Tim was just getting through his busiest ever lunch rush while we were there, but he did have time to show us why he wanted folks to hang around for more than just a quick bite. He turned the old salad bar into a book nook, and he brought in a record player with a very eclectic mix of music. The tea section alone covers a lot of territory.
You could bring your own vinyl records, listen to the ones we have.
When the workday ends and his human customers are no longer hungry, he has several other big mouths to feed. His 2 loves, Pits and the Pit Stop, continuously compete for time and affection. Through him, it's a working and winning combo. In Oklahoma City, Galen Culver, News 4. Is this a great state or what?
Pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, I'm going to check that place out.
So Tim and Erica, they opened their Pit Stop a little over 2 weeks ago. So it's brand new after years of running a catering business and a booth at the Norman Farmers Market. And in September, Tim was the guest chef for the ESPN Game Day broadcast. Wow, that's quite an honor.
That is cool.
Yeah, that is
Guest
very
chef.
cool. Guest
That
chef.
is a great resume builder right there.
No
for
doubt,
sure.
no doubt. Hey, you were talking about just a minute ago keychains hanging from backpacks.
Yes.
A lot of times kids will hang plushies from backpacks like
Yes.
Labubus and Lafufus and all of those. But now the Olympic mascots, we got Tina and either Milo or Milo. We don't know if it's the Milo English pronunciation or Milo, like they would say in Italy. My name is Milo. Milo is on the left, or Milo, and Tina's on the right, which of course stands for Milan and Cortina.
Ah, maybe
So-
it's Milo then. Like Milan, Mila. I don't know. Okay, anyway, don't listen to me.
I don't know. Who knows? We don't know. I'm always thinking of those. We made some promos where we're speaking in Italian, and what is it that Mike Morgan
Beautifully,
says?
too, by the way.
What is it that he says?
Oh, calamari.
Calamari, pepperoni, Milo. Who knows? Anyway, we don't know. So
They're so cute.
but they're selling out. The plushies are selling out. So here's the actual mascots. The plushies are, of course, much smaller. They're selling out fast.
And you can see them every time someone gets on
There
this
they are.
podium for a medal ceremony. They have one of those in their hand, I believe, too, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what's cute about him is that he is supposed to be Milo. It's short for Milano, and he's the face of the Paralympic Winter Games. Milo was born without one paw, but learned to use his tail. Isn't that neat?
That is neat.
Yeah.
So which one is which?
The darker brown one.
Okay, he's the one without the paw. Then.
Yes, but
Okay.
I thought I just saw. I don't know. That looks like he's got both.
It sure does. Doesn't it?
So yeah, maybe one is a prosthetic. Who knows? But
Yeah.
it's neat that they represent both.
That
Paralympic
is so
and-
cool. Yeah, I
Yes.
love that so much. That is so neat. I know my kids would love my youngest kid would love that.
Did you hear about all of the chaos with the copyright infringement about?
I did.
Okay, so the ice skaters, this is terrible. Like they
Yeah.
had their whole routines down, practice,
for months too. by
Yes,
the way.
where you hit each landing
You disappeared.
and I'm gone. Where you hit each landing. Hey, can you try 2 shots, see if that works? Maybe it's just my camera. Let's see. Nope, I'm black. I'm out.
That's weird.
Here, let me tap on this thing. I don't know.
happened?
I don't know.
You want to come over and
Because I
join me
said
over here?
copyright chaos.
And they're like,
The Olympic board just heard her say that.
So I'll just keep talking. I
yeah,
guess.
keep
Here.
talking. Or come over here with me. We can share a microphone. Hey, there we go.
Okay, so
Or come over here.
here, look, I got my microphone. We'll just do it like this. Can we do one shot?
Ooh, I like this. We should do this more often.
This is more fun,
This
actually.
is a lot more fun. I
We can
like
hang out and be like,
we
I like your
could.
shirt. You look so good today. Anyway, we're done. I'm done.
No, we're not. We're cool. At least that's what
Everyone
I'm gonna
wants to
keep
be just like
reminding my
us.
children, right? I'm cool, okay?
So, what happened was several skaters had to scramble for approval because they, especially ones relating to the Minions, there was this Minions dance that a U.S. skater wanted to dance to. Cause all kinds of chaos, and they were going to have to, choose a different song. And then they were somehow able to work it out with the creator of that song. It's okay for them, the U.S., but not the Russian skater.
Really?
The Russian skater had to choose a whole different song. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
That is so terrible.
What I thought was interesting too is that U.S. skater Amber Glenn,
Yes.
she actually had to reach out to the artist of the Canadian artist Seb McKinnon to try to say, hey, I'm about to make your song really, really famous.
Yes.
And it's going to be on a global stage. Is it cool if I use it? Essentially is what happened there. You know
I
what
would
I mean?
say, heck yes, you can use it.
Yeah, I would too. I'd be like, yes, I don't care. I'm not going to sue you.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy though. It made like such a, because could you imagine you spend well over a year, I would imagine,
Oh, yeah.
practicing through these different
Hours a
routines
day.
and knowing exactly when you hear this point in the music, you need to be on this, axle jump or whatever. And then right before competition, they tell you, sorry, you forgot something. Did they forget or was there a mix up in communication?
I don't know. I mean, I would think that you'd have that cleared from the get-go. If you know you're going to the Olympics, that I would think that you'd be like, this is the song we want to dance to. Let's make sure it's possible. You know?
Because, used to, they would only use classical music. They weren't allowed to use anything with lyrics or anything like that. So they would always use classical music. But then they would have been allowed, it was, to 2014.
Lyrics were banned back then. Yeah.
Until 2014.
Yeah.
And then now they could, and that's when all of the more popular music, and which, to be honest with you, I feel like has drawn more people's interest to figure skating because they're like, oh, this is so cool. It's not this like classical, kind of
right.
slow
I used to love
version.
that too. That was so relaxing when we had just the classical music back in the day of Tanya Harding and
Yes, it was very relaxing. Very.
I cannot believe that happened. That is so crazy to me still thinking about it.
I can remember when that happened and I was like, what am I watching here? This is crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. And the fact that they actually thought they could get away with it.
I know.
And then do you remember after that too, she she fell. Tonya Harding did, because she hit like a button. Somebody's button had come off of their outfit. She hit it and she fell. And everyone was like, ha ha, sorry about your luck.
That was intentional. Somebody went
Planted that button. Yeah.
and put it right in the, hey, you're back.
Oh, we're back. Okay. That was fun.
I'm going to miss you. I'd like you over here with me.
Can I have that remote control,
yes,
please?
you may.
Okay, we want to talk about
Anthony, did you reset the camera?
I unplugged it and plugged it back in.
Good.
Of course.
That's how everything is fixed. Just
Yeah.
like your computers, just like, the TV.
Thank you,
unplug,
ma'am.
plug back in. There you go.
Okay, so also happening at the Olympics this. So
See, if you're not watching the Olympics
how to
on News
start it.
4,
you're missing out on
you
some
are missing
drama.
out on some major big stuff
Truthfully.
going here.
I mean, it really is like soap opera.
Yeah.
We took away all the soap operas, but you can watch the Olympics and you're caught up.
Yeah.
So this guy, Norwegian athlete, he regrets his TV confession overshadowing his teammates' gold medal victory by announcing to the world, I cheated on my girlfriend 3 months ago. We were only together 6 months, but she's the love of my life. And I told her and she broke up with me and now I want her back. He thought he won the bronze, and he thought, instead of saying, oh, I'm so thankful to my coaches and this has been my lifelong dream, that if he swooned his girlfriend like that ex-girlfriend, that she would come back to him. And Adria, what'd she say?
Oh, she said, not a chance, my friend. She was, according to all reports, she was very upset and she submitted a statement. She still wants to remain anonymous, but she said, I did not want this attention. I did not want this brought up. And she was very, very upset. Here's one thing that also bothers me is that the guy won bronze, but he totally overshadowed the fact that his fellow teammate won
the gold.
Won the gold medal.
I know, and never mentioned it.
No one's talking about the gold medal winner. They're talking about this guy right here who confessed that he cheated on his girlfriend 3 months ago. So
he is too self-absorbed. He's
which I look, he probably thought, I'll get up
this will be
there
the most romantic thing ever.
and she will forgive me and
Yeah.
she will have me back. But now he's only made it worse, unfortunately.
She's like, I did not want this publicity, and no thanks.
I'm out of here.
And I hope it stays that way, truthfully, because, I mean, if she's the love of his life, is he really going to be cheating on her after 3 months? They're only together 6 months.
Yeah.
Anyway, she needs to.
I think it's time for you to.
We clearly applaud her response.
Yeah.
D'Anthony, what do you think about her response? No
Her
way.
response, I respect it. I don't think she needed to say anything to the media, but I understand why she had
I'm
to.
sure, yeah.
Because he put that out. I'm so confused why he thought to confess
Why he thought that was a good idea.
there.
Well, no, he had already confessed to her that he had cheated on her, so
Yeah.
she broke up with him.
He was just making it public to everyone
To
else.
the world.
Oh,
He was
that
just
part I
telling the
didn't
world,
get.
this is
Yeah.
what happened. I cheated on her. She broke up with me, and I really want her back. This is the love of my life.
Yeah. After I
He was watching Bridgerton. That's what he thought. He was gonna
yeah.
pull a Bridgerton out there. Like, oh, I'm gonna make myself look like a dummy so she can come back. And
Yeah.
No, I have a feeling that after that moment, he has officially put a nail in that.
An article that I read said, it's cute how he tried to make it like a rom-com, but this is real life.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
So funny. Let's do this next story too. The BAFTA mask trophies, how they're made. If you don't know what the BAFTA is, it stands for British Academy Film Awards. But what's cool about this is for their awards, they make a heavy bronze mask made by skilled craftsmen.
Okay.
A bronze mask. So
What's it look like? D'Anthony, you got a clip?
about to.
Okay.
they use a sand casting technique to make about 80 trophies. This happens on February 22nd for the ceremony. It takes about a week, involving molding, cooling, polishing the trophies in a mirror finish, and the care taken to ensure the masks are flawless reflects the hard work of the winners. So
wow.
That's just an interesting thing to have, for it to actually be a bronze mask. Look at that. This reminds me of Han Solo.
Is that sand they're putting on top of there?
This has to do sand casting
Okay.
technique to make about
That's
80
interesting.
trophies. D'Anthony,
80 trophies for the February 22nd ceremony. Okay.
D'Anthony's a big Star Wars fan. Doesn't that remind you of Han Solo when he gets like frozen in the whatever it is? Isn't it metal that he's frozen into?
Oh man, I was just talking about how much of a fraud I am of being a Star Wars nerd. I don't know.
Wait,
Something
when?
like that.
When was he in a
This was
what
okay.
episode? Or
I
what?
don't know. I
what,
couldn't
Well,
tell
see,
you.
I'm just a fraud. I don't know.
I don't remember Han Solo.
Yeah, because then Leia's like, "Oh, I love you," and then he goes, "I know," and then you shh, and then he goes, and you know.
And then he goes, yeah, that's what happened though. And
7. No.
7?
7. Yeah, 7.
Huh.
are you sure it wasn't 6?
Oh my gosh.
Was it 6
Oh
or
wait,
7?
no.
Oh my gosh, stop it.
Oh, I see what you.
You're a mess. You're
I
a mess.
know. It's what I do. All right. When we come back, 200 love letters tell the story of a couple's relationship during World War II. How romantic. We'll tell you about that next. So yesterday we were talking about D'Anthony. What's the name of the show you watch?
Bridgerton.
Bridgerton. I don't watch it.
I said that at the bookstore. She goes, "You mean Bridgerton?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just new to this."
You're watching.
What? Okay, so let me ask you a question first, which I'm sure you talked about this yesterday. I'm sorry I wasn't here. I was on special shoot. Are you on season 4?
Yes, but so this is what I've seen: season 1, season 2. Haven't seen season 3. Part 1 of
Skip to
season
4. Okay.
Well, I didn't really see 3. I didn't know 3 came out.
Oh, you gotta see 3. 3 is a good one because
Everyone's saying 3.
because you gotta kind of go in order because what happens in season 4 it gives away some of the things that happens in season.
Yeah, because then someone else gets together, and I'm like, wait, who are they? I don't remember them, and they were in season 3.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, season 3. You need to go watch it. Go watch it before you finish the second half of season 4.
Well, he's watching it with his girlfriend, and that's what his Valentine's Day gift earlier is based around Bridgerton because they're watching it together. Like she lives in Texas, but she watches it while he watches it, so they can share that together. And it's based, as you know, because you're watching it, in the 1800s, and it goes back to, it basically gets rid of all modern time love. And it's like, this is what people used to show romance. Candlelit dinners, handwritten letters. And I love this story because 200 love letters tell the story of a couple's relationship during World War II. So a trove of more than 200 letters from World War II that were found in a Tennessee home offers an intimate picture of love during wartime. Ray Whitaker attended school at the historically Black, I don't know how to say this, Meharry Medical College in Nashville. And there he met and dated another student, Jane Dean. They lost contact for a time, but he wrote to her in 1942 stating that he was in the Army and soon he was professing his love. It was a short 4 months later they were married, and the letters from their courtship and early marriage were donated to the Metro Nashville Archive. Several are now on display digitally through the Nashville Public Library. Isn't that cool?
Yes. That's so cool.
I mean, imagine that you write to that's so sweet, darling, that you write to your loved one and someday that letter ends up in a museum for all to see. You better be careful what you write.
Yeah, right.
I think
a
that's
G
very
version
romantic.
of the letter to your love for sure. That is cool. But that's how people communicated back then. And
Yeah.
I can even remember whenever I was in elementary school, I had a pen pal that I used to write to all the time.
I did too. Heather Cavazos. I still remember her name. I met her at church camp, and then she lived in Texas, and so we wrote a few times.
Yep. I had a friend that played that I wrote to at pen pal. I can't remember where exactly it was, but I also had a good friend that I met at soccer camp, and she lived in Louisiana, in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I would mail letters to her back and forth.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then, considering I moved all over the world, I would also write letters too. And then Anitra Landry, she was another one. So when we came back on furlough, my parents were missionaries. You go for 4 years, come back on furlough for 1, and then you go again. So when we were back on furlough, we went to Shawnee. It was the junior high. Last year, the 9th grade was at the junior high in Shawnee, 9th grade, and met Anitra Landry. And then then I moved to Malaysia the following year, but she wrote to me the entire time.
Wow.
And it was so special to me because that made me feel connected to America,
Back home. Are you guys still friends?
Yeah, we are. Yes. In fact, we planned dinner a few months ago and I had to cancel for something. But we need to do that again. I haven't seen her in years. I don't think I've seen her since high school.
Oh, wow.
I ended up graduating from Shawnee, so I saw her there, obviously, but I don't think I've seen her since.
Wow. Yeah.
Which was just a few years ago. I mean, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. You just, 2019 was when?
I mean, it was more like 2017.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, love, I told you the story before. One of the worst things that I've ever done in my life probably was when I lived overseas on a little island called New Caledonia, where we lived for 3.5 years growing up. I babysat 3 kids all summer long. And all summer long, I would take them. I can't believe they let me do this at age 13. These 3 kids, I would take them to the beach. And then bring them back home, and that's so dangerous in life.
How
let a 13-year-old do that?
Kids?
Oh, they were like, I think the youngest was 4. He was 4, and then 4 to 9. So I watched them all summer long, and I made $400 and some dollars. Like, I want to say $439. I remember specifically because when I was babysitting these kids, I called home to America and talked to my best friend. And I wouldn't have gotten busted. I mean, obviously it was going to show up on their phone bill, which I prayed it wouldn't, but it still did.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gotten busted as soon as I did if I hadn't called my grandma, because my grandma then told my mom, Heather called me. My mom was like, what? So this couple gets the phone bill, and it was exactly $439. It was everything I made. Exactly.
Oh, no.
Is that not God teaching me a lesson, or what?
Yeah. Like, you just worked your butt off all summer just to give it away for a 10-minute phone call.
Yes. And they were like they weren't the best behaved kids either. So I worked hard that summer.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness gracious.
All right, let's move on to today's bizarre holidays. We only have 3 today.
3.
But I want to talk about the last one. Okay. So first of all, it's Hug Day, which I think is precious.
Oh, that is cute.
Then we have
National Lost Penny Day.
D'Anthony, are you there?
Pick it up all day long. You'll have good luck.
Okay, but only if it's
on tails.
What?
I thought it was heads.
Heads.
What was it, heads?
If it's tails, you
on heads, but tails is
down.
Tails is
heads up, and then you pick it up, because otherwise it's unlucky.
Yes, but I think where I got confused is that you always call for tails on a coin flip.
But heads usually wins.
No, tails always wins.
What?
On a coin flip, tails always wins.
I'm 50-50 on it. I don't know. Heads or tails. I don't know.
You can't make heads or tails about it. No. Every time I do it, it's heads.
Okay. Whenever I would have to go meet the referees in the middle of the soccer field for the coin toss, it was we'd always call tails. And 75% of the time it was tails.
Wow.
Was it the same referee?
No.
I was going to say, is that coin weighted? I always liked tails because I thought it was more unique, because heads usually won. So I would choose tails and I'd always lose. But
what?
anyways. Yeah,
Maybe
okay.
It's just the luck of the person.
Maybe it is.
Who knows?
That could be very true. It's also National Plum Pudding Day. And this is what I wanted to ask you guys really quickly. Have you ever had it?
Never.
National Plum Pudding. D'Anthony?
Have you?
I had a friend that was addicted to it, and
I've never tried it. How about you,
every
Heather?
Christmas.
Have you?
No, but I've always wondered, because what's the nursery rhyme of stuck his thumb in
Figgy pudding, right?
Well, Jack.
Oh,
they were always named Jack.
It was some plum.
Stuck his thumb in the plum pudding. I don't know. I've never tried it. I'm just curious if you guys had.
I haven't.
But anyway, it's National Plum Pudding Day, so maybe today's the day. It's the day.
We'll make some tonight.
All right. Yeah, let's do it. Thank you guys for joining us today. We're back tomorrow at 11, and we will see you then.